Mm. It's good water. You know what isn't good? Fucking war. War is war is my god. Since the beginning of fucking time, humans have been fighting with each other. You know, blah blah blah. Cain killed Abel, yada yada yada. You already know how this goes. Um, you would think by now we've kind of realized that we should stop doing that. Especially when now we're at a point where we're sending kids off to die um, for rich men. Um, but I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Um, but let's say about 80 years ago, um, give or take, our great grandfathers, our grandfathers, and our great grandfathers went through the trouble of trying to make sure um, we don't have war anymore by suppressing powers of tyranny and uh, you know uncontrolled power and stuff like that and hatred, right? And here we are, you know, 80 years later. Don't know what we're doing. We are currently, as of a week or two ago, at war with Iran, right? We've been tense with North Korea, China, Russia, and Iran, and now war has boiled over with Iran. For decades, we've spent billions, maybe even trillions of taxes to have the strongest military in the world, right? Because we're so afraid that somebody's going to try to stop us from being big bad, right? I mean, stop us from, enforcing the law of our backyard, right? Of course. Um, but, you know, turns out we're the ones going out and declaring war and causing the problems, right? I don't know the full extent of it, but the bottom line is, um, it makes me real sad, seeing Russia and Ukraine be at war for years, people that could have been brothers, separated by a slight language barrier and a border, imaginary made up line, you know, going to war, using drones to blow each other up, you know, screaming, killing each other up close, melting each other's faces with Soviet ammo, you know, Soviet era, what would you call it? Casings, you know, same same ammo types. Um, I don't know. I really got to get this off my chest, man. We're currently gonna do that. Right now we're just in the airstrike segment, but soon it's gonna be boots on ground. And when was the last time we did that as Americans? We just pulled out of Afghanistan a couple years ago, and we oh God, this sucks. This really fucking sucks. We just pulled out of Afghanistan a couple years ago. Invasion of Iraq. We found no WMDs. This is what we're worried about, WMDs and shit. Apparently this time, and the details of it all. I don't know. Like, yeah, we could be doing it all in good faith, but war just might erupt. World War III just might be on the horizon. I don't mean to fearmonger or anything like that. I feel like I'm a victim of the media when I say things like that, but it really fucking every now and then I gotta get political because there's always something going on politically, and right now, the war shit is really, really rubbing me the wrong way because this isn't this isn't what the American people want. We don't want foreign wars. It's not our responsibility to protect Israel. You know, um, it's been that way for decades now. Like 60 years or so. Like we've been tricked. 70 even, the Korean War. We've been tricked into having stupid ass reasons to go into war or not even wanting the war and still going in anyways, and it's like it's pretty it's pretty sickening. Like we're how much we're having to put up with. We have no say on whether what wars we have to go to. You know, we don't even get to vote on that. You know, I didn't even think of that. You know, we vote for the person that chooses if we go to war or not. But does it really matter when the person that was even elected says no foreign wars? You know, him and his vice president both no foreign wars, and here we are, um, in a war abroad. So it's like we really don't have control, and you know, we're the ones that don't get the say in it, but we're the ones that are gonna have to fight it. So, you know, really fucking depressing shit. You know, as if there's not enough dying people currently with the current wars going on, or the ones that were going on before this Iran-American war. Um, now, now there's gonna be, you know, even more destruction, death, and we've already seen it. You know, the first couple weeks it was fucking, it was ripping my heart in two. You know, ripping my fucking. I was hurt. I was genuinely fucking hurt, man. That the shit that's going on right now is destroying homes, lives, cities, families. You know, because it's just stupid. It's just stupid. I was originally gonna come come with a certain pissed off sort of energy to this video, but you know, I as I realized over the last, you know, month or so, or 2 weeks, however long it's been, I'm really just sad about it. I'm really just sad. You know, I I think I might consider myself a pacifist. Um, all for self defense, but I'm not for going out and starting problems or enforcing, you know, my big stick or bigger stick or my fucking fist of iron. You know, it's all that's tyranny. You know, that's control. That's not how you make friends. That's not how you know. And I know we're not here to make friends. You know, we gotta stay safe. But truthfully, there would be friends to make. You know, now who's our only friend? Israel, and they're only our friends because they're blackmailing our politicians, and we have an interest to them. You know, how depressing is that? And this is the country I live in. The morals of the country hardly reflect the morals of the citizen, right? At least most of us, I'm sure. It blows my mind, really. You know, what do we do now? What do I do? I can move. I can't afford it now, but you know, I will I will plan on moving eventually, so long as that place doesn't get blown up. I mean, I can't even lie. It seems like the United States might be a pretty safe place to be, given that, you know, who the fuck is gonna bomb us, you know? But, you know, whatever, you know? I guess I'll just live with it, you know? I'll live in unable to get a house, you know, unable to, I just talked about it. Car is fine. Unable to get a house, you know, at the ripe age of 24, you know, when my parents did that. I already had a house by then, you know. Can't get a good job, hardly, you know. You gotta go about it in different ways. Um, can't afford shit. You're eating garbage, you know. The world is slop. Um, it sucks, you know, when you really think about it. If you lose your faith, it gets real fucking sad, you know. But I guess it's kind of fucked up of me to come over here and fearmonger and then be depressed and be a Debbie Downer and all that. But you know, I guess I'll just kind of wrap up all that negativity, right? I'm deeply upset and troubled that, you know, we're going to war and that people are gonna die, and you know, our people, their people, whatever, innocent people. You know, what is the Ukraine-Russian war shown us? They're all just kids, you know, just like me, just like likely you, just like, you know, the young boys of the country, you know, and you know, it's very upsetting, but you know, I have faith. You know, I think a lot of people, warmongers, are still in power, and I have faith that we will come down to a point where there'll be less and less. I think because more people, the younger you get, more people, young people feel the same way I do, and we're gonna come to our senses, and when, you know, once we I hope once, my generation takes power or is old enough to be the dominant force in, the Senate and Congress and stuff like that, that we will make the right decisions in order to look at every year as we were growing up, we were at war. We were seeing some war. Like, this isn't the answer. I don't know how we haven't discovered it already, right? A lot of old guys, old timers, in my experience, have liked to say, you know, um, the world needs to be policed, and it's sure, but we're using policing as an excuse to, start wars and stuff. We don't. It's not our job to police the world. You know what I mean? Like, as water, as crazy as this phrase has gotten, America first does not mean helping Israel in the war. That is not what anybody wants, right? America should come first. We shouldn't be worried about cartel wars in Mexico. We shouldn't be worried about fucking some Somali pirates. And if it doesn't concern us, if it does, deal with it without war. And I know there's probably a thin gray line that determines what is war and what is conflict, but there's a way that we could deal with shit without it being, full blown war and kids dying, on both sides. But what do I know? I'm just a stupid ass Zoomer, Gen Z, Z-tard, stupid ass Gen Z liberal, kid. But when I think about it, it makes me sad, truthfully. And when I talk about it with people that know more than I do, because I stay away from it. People know more than I do. It also makes me sad, because they know all the details, and I'm just like, fuck, that can't be real, or we can't be going through this shit. But it's hell, what can I do? Dodge the draft. Just keep working on my own shit. Stack my bread, whatever. Why worry about it if I can't? Does it deeply make me sad? And does it, upset me? Of course. Of fucking course. As it should. But what most importantly, I need to stay level-headed. I need to stay healthy. I need to not lose myself in times like this, because this is what it intends to do, is pandemonium. And then a person like me climbing up, that's more wealth for the elite to claim, because I'm not over there gunning for it. But you know what? I'm fucking gunning for it. I don't care if they want to send me to war or fucking feed me slop or whatever. I'm gunning for every dime out of their pockets that I could take. You know why? Because that is the American dream. That right there. But goddamn it, I'm gonna pursue it, and I am. And I can't wait to show you guys. That's about it. I don't know. This one seemed a little bit aimless, but I had to come to grips with those emotions that I was feeling. And just kind of, I know I'm not the only one. So, wow. No, this whole past 15 minutes has felt, roughly 15 minutes has felt so depressing. And I apologize. I just needed that. This is my free therapy, so that's what I'm here for. But that's what I'm doing it for. But I gotta think positive. I can vent and wallow all I want, but there has to be a time where I gotta start thinking positive. And I told you, the faith in the future, and I'm here to I'm gonna keep making this money, man. I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing. I'm gonna keep it pushing. Ain't nothing gonna stop me. And I hope we can all find that hope through these times. Hope for the future, hope for ourselves, hope for our generation. We're all gonna be all right. I'm sure worse shit has happened to American generations. Yeah, that's about it. It'll get worse, but it will get better, and then prosperous times will be among us. But yeah, thank you. I'm sorry for the vent, depressing ass vent. But thank you for listening this far. Love you. Good night.